Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to race number 5 of the Part-Timer Series. We are here at Homestead-Miami Speedway for the running of the Office Depot 150 for 14 laps of racing around this 1.5-mile oval. Michael Cavanero grabbing the pole alongside him, Scott Greeny. Row 2, Nick Pericles and Caleb Hoffman. Row 3, Paul Sardinia and Emily Brooks. Row 4, Kate Rogers and Sam York. And in row 5, Tony Vieira and Ryan Shea. Phillip Tringale is back running here. He will start 21st. And you'll notice a new driver starting in 12th. That is Jim Morton III. That is the late Jim Morton's grandson. And just a little heads up, the R is right next to the 3 because I didn't have room to put a space in between. Anyway, Jim Morton III will make his debut here in the part-timers race, and he might try to see if he can make a Cup Series event. As the command has been given, these drivers will go out. 14 laps racing. Well, Jim Morton III maybe try to prove himself here early in his career. Get ready to go green flag racing here. Michael Cavanero won the last part-timers race at Kansas, but Kansas is a lot different than Homestead. Homestead, you can pass a little bit more easier. How will his race fare out? Trying to pass Ace Rogers in the Cup Series points for part-timers. The Office Depot 150 is underway. Michael Cavanero and Nick Pericles quickly pulling away here. Michael Cavanero will lead the first lap. Paul Sardinia moving into second place, trying to battle Nick Pericles for second. Mind that we had no cautions here last season. Very good racing track. Great battles all around the board. As Tony Vieira is going to make it 3 wide with Kate Rogers and Scott Greeny. As here's another winner this season, Emily Brooks, won at New Hampshire. Trying to keep herself in the top 10. And there's Ryan Shea, who won at Dover. Trying to make his way into the top 10. And here's Jim Morton III in the 23 Chevrolet. As there's Phillip Tringale making his return in the number 98 Aaron's Ford. So far, so good. Paul Sardinia had taken the lead for a lap, but now Michael Cavanero will take it back. Scott Greeny trying to make his way back up to the front. 3 wide for second place between the 26, 27, and 48. Nick Pericles is going to take second here from the 26. Zachary Fitzwater making his way into the top 5 here. Same for Emily Brooks in the 95 Ford. As now Nick Pericles is looking for the lead on Michael Cavanero. The top 2 will get to race at Homestead and Coca-Cola Super Speedway. So a Speedway and a Super Speedway, those Coca-Cola can be a great track to try to get a part-timer to win out. We saw Micah Kidney win at it last season in the Chase, no longer a Chase race due to the revamped schedule. Michael Cavanero seems to be switching back and forth the lead between himself and a few drivers. So only 6 races to go until the chase for the Cup Series, Code Red Series, and Truck Series, and this series. No chase at all, as Nick Pericles is going to take back the lead from the 4. And now Michael Cavanero under siege from Scott Greeny. And Scott Greeny has actually rumored that if he can't win a race in the Cup Series, or at least do very well in the part-timer series, he is very much considering retiring. It's not final, he's considering it. Next season might be his final season. Whoa, Michael Cavanero gets in the wall, and he's going to lose a lot of track position. So, tough break for the 4 here. He's going to fall all the way to 7th. Actually, no, that's 8th. That's 9th now. And Michael Cavanero just might fall out of the top 10. Other drivers considering retirement include the 53 of Sheila Sullivan, as she has not been able to get back into the Cup Series since season 3 she was full-time. I can't really remember. But she has stated she might retire soon as well as her fellow teammate Peggy Bowling. Peggy Bowling stating it's been a fun ride, but she's just thinking of ending it. Michael Cavanero in 9th as Nick Pericles leads it. Big lead for him with 3 laps to go. Paul Sardinia 2nd, Scott Greeny 3rd, Tony Vieira 4th. Battle for 5th between Emily Brooks and Brad Lewis. 7th, Caleb Hoffman. 8th, Zachary Fitzwater. And 9th, Michael Cavanero. As the pack is closing in, Skylar Dixon, Kyle Collins battling for that 10th place spot. Scott Greeny going by Paul Sardinia for 2nd. He wants to race both races. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Paul Sardinia looking back under the 48. Running 2 races can really help improve your points position in the Cup Series standings. Here comes Brad Lewis in the 77. White flag is out. And they're 3 wide for 2nd place. Don't count out Emily Brooks in the 95 here. Scott Greeny gets in the wall a little bit, as it seems Nick Pericles will win. Who's going to come home 2nd? Emily Brooks looking on to Brad Lewis, but Brad Lewis is going to hold on for 2nd place. So Nick Pericles will win, Brad Lewis 2nd. Those 2 will race Homestead and Coca-Cola. Excuse me. Emily Brooks, Paul Sardinia, Tony Vieira, and Caleb Hoffman will race Homestead. And then racing Coca-Cola instead of those 4 just mentioned will be Scott Greeny, Zachary Fitzwater, Kyle Collins, and Jim Morton the 3rd. And whoa, Pericles just spun out Brad Lewis. Oh, and Ace Rogers just clobbered right into him. Well, that will happen when they finish the races here. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's race, and we'll see you guys tonight for the Truck Series event.